All right. Hello, Facebook Live.
Hi.
This is Jess. I just met her today here at Piper Leaf while I was trying to study. And like good talking to people we just started striking up a conversation. But we were talking a little bit, we just randomly started getting on like the topic of singleness. It was just perfect because my music video for Love is coming out. But we're anomalies because she also has a great belief system of waiting for something to be revealed as to whether or not it's yours or not. So kind of give us a preface of what inspired you to be single and be content and sufficient in your singleness.
Single and sufficient. Well, I became a believer when I was 16, and when I did, I heard very clearly from the Lord telling me that He had someone specific for me and He wanted me to wait. And so I broke up with my then at the time boyfriend and just started waiting. I read a bunch of books and I came across this one. I can't remember the exact title, but it was just talking about how we should get to know another person as a brother in Christ, pray for them, see if our lives are lining up with their lives, and then go into prayer. Is this what God has for me? Get to know their character, and hopefully start praying about each other for a couple of months, then get in a relationship and start dating or get married. So I'm more believe in courting than I do in dating, but that's also my personality because I cannot just date around. I'm very passionate and
aware of time. You're like, I don't have time just to be spending with anybody, you know?
No. And I was engaged a couple of years ago to a guy. Seemed like we were on the same path. He was very godly. I was very much in love with him. And one weekend, we just both lost our peace about the relationship. And he called me and was like, I think that God's telling me you're not mine, that you're His, and I need to let you go. And so we broke up, and since then we have not spoken, and it was really crushing, but the Lord has just reminded me to trust His decision, that He chose that, and that He has something else for me, and just to trust His timing. And so far I have been, but it has been a trial to trust something that doesn't seem like it's happening. But
because it is crazy. It's crazy to really have faith in the thing that like whatever's for me is going to be for me, because I know especially today, just our culture of dating, we feel like we got to go out, scope, that's babe, let me go ahead, you know what I mean? And it's not even the case. I know for me, like I said in my other video, I didn't date at all in high school, and I had likenesses, and I make those known whenever I like somebody because I don't want there to be any mind games. But what I always ask myself, are these just characteristics that I like in somebody, or do I really like all of them? Mm-hmm. And many times what God has shown me is, hey, I just want to show you that chivalrousness is out there. I want chivalry, not chivalrousness. I'm like pulling some Dr. Seuss's. But like, you know, chivalry is out there, respect is out there. Somebody genuinely being into you is out there, but it does not mean that it's yours. And so, I mean, I'm just really excited that we just got to have this conversation, because it's really hard to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
But I truly believe that, I mean, there are so many options out there. And I think the reason why I, and even probably you, chose this walk is because there's so many good guys out there. There's a lot of good-looking guys out there. There's a lot of God guys out there. But what's mine? And that's not only, I ask that in relationships, I ask that for even my dreams, like what avenues are mine, because there's so many things, so many routes that you can go. But yeah, I like it.
yeah.
I'm excited. I'm so grateful. Well, once again, guys, y'all say hello to Jess. This was a blessing. But hopefully we can keep in contact.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to keep in contact.
Oh, we are.
But we were talking about even like scriptures and different Bible scenarios that kind of paint pictures of all the many ways that you could meet your future person as long as you wait. And what was
God specifically gave me about Isaac and Rebecca. So he was doing his work and she was doing her work, and the Lord providentially brought them together. It was His perfect timing. She was a woman of character. She was doing the Lord's work. He was doing the same, and God brought them together at the right time. And that's what God has shared with me, is that the man that He has for me, it will come exactly when it needs to be, that He will be sovereignly arranging everything together, and that all I have to do is obey Him and trust.
That's so good. I know the one that spoke to me is Ruth and Boaz, and so many people say, I'm waiting on my Boaz, and it's like, no, she was working. Not only was she working, but the way that they met was total happenstance. And so even for me, I can't lie, when I meet somebody, and even if I'm liking them, I'm like, ooh, does it line up with how this scenario is? Like, I'm always playing in my mind. And I think it's healthy to do that, because I don't want to waste my time.
Yeah.
But it was happenstance how Ruth and Boaz met. Also, they didn't really make a big announcement that they were together. Like, the only people that knew were those very closest to them. And when the time came, publicly they married, So I think courting and stuff should be done in silence, really. Like, just be each other's friend, because when you open that up, everybody in the moment has something to say about it.
Yeah,
and you got to
really
protect
do.
that. So I don't know, I met a sister today, and I'm really excited about that. But thank you guys for listening. Stay tuned for Pure Love, because I hope that it inspires you to wait. But in the meantime of waiting, you're supposed to be cultivating a life that you're called to do. So, like she was talking about, be busy on your work, be productive, building something. And to be honest, in a way, I truly believe that, like, it's all going to be preparational. I was just talking to somebody else yesterday, like, now that my EP is out, I feel like it was a baby. Like, I carried it, and so, the songs and the words are, I intend for them to be life-giving. So that is like life-giving, like getting out into the world. So even, all this stuff is preparation. As you're building something, and then somebody tangibly comes so you can build something with, you can actually have actual life.
One thing that my community group leader shared with me that was very helpful is how you are outside of a marriage is how you'll be inside of a marriage, intensified. And so if you're not content, if you're not satisfied, if you're not seeking the Lord, if you're not stewarding your time well, you're not going to do it in marriage either. You're going to be the same person, and maybe even worse, because your sin is going to be exposed more than you want it to be. And so marriage is not the end all, it is another level of sanctification. And so yes, like, we're supposed to wait for the person that God has for us, but it's not the end all be all of our lives.
That's good. That's really good.
It's very helpful.
Yeah, some people are like, oh, I'm going to pray, I'm going to save him from me. I'm going to ask God to save him from me. If he ain't already walking, honey, he's not going to change for you.
Yeah.
And that should be another thing. We should love without loopholes, but whenever we're courting and dating, it shouldn't be, God, save him for me. Like, I want it. If he loves me as is, I want to as is
Right.
person. But I've dedicated a lot of time to that, so that's so good. I like that.
Elizabeth Elliot says in one of her books that you don't always get to choose the sin of your future spouse, and there's going to be sin, and you don't always get to choose what kind of sin you want that person has. If that person's going to have an anger issue, or if that person's going to have depression, you don't get to choose that, but you get to choose to love them despite their sin. And that's just like I'm going to have sin in my marriage. Like, I want to be with someone who's going to love me in my sin, not just, delete me out of his life because I have one thing that's hard for him. And so I think that trusting in the Lord, no matter what, like with a sinful person, is the most important thing for marriage too.
Now that's important, because I think in my time devoted to singleness, I got to see all of my inconsistencies. I got to see all of my shortcomings. And I learned so much about myself that, honestly, if I even want perfection in anybody else, that's hypocritical. Because I'm like,
Yes.
I know I'm not. So
Yeah.
honestly, this time of singleness is also a place where you learn how to exercise grace. If you can't even
Yes.
allow grace within yourself or forgive yourself for
Yeah.
certain things that you do, it's not going to happen in your marriage either. So
Yeah, and a guy is a
yes,
brother in your brother in Christ until he is
put a
yours.
ring on it.
Yeah, I mean, he is your brother in Christ, and so we are to treat him like a brother in Christ. And how you treat someone, outside of marriage is going to be how you're going to treat them inside, hopefully, you know. So if you're working on treating them with kindness and respect and love and care and trusting them to the Lord, then you're going to be growing in that in marriage as well.
And I'm seeing that it's like the same everywhere, though. It's like not just in a marriage, the same people on your job, the way that you treat people on your job, the way that you treat people out in the community. It's the same kind of love. I think the only thing that's going to be different within the confines of marriage is that this person is actually tied to you, and you know you're meant to be. Y'all gonna be more accountable to each other, but it's the same love that you exercise, the same respect that you exercise throughout the board. And God, He's so awesome in the way that He's like, everything's progressional. It's not really a lot of levels to this.
Yeah.
But that is all. Thank y'all for listening. Hopefully you will be inspired to just wait on pure love. There's a lot of things out here. There's a lot of decoys out here, but good things really do come to those that wait. So thank you, Jess, for being impromptu. Literally meant I'm like, hey, I got my phone. Let's do it Facebook Live. But girl, God bless you. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll be in contact. But bye.
Peace.